Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Gaming News. And tonight, we're going to talk about the fall of Destiny, or I should say, Destiny Rising, a free-to-play mobile spin-off from the same developer who did Diablo Immortal. So, sad news, right? More mobile games. So, there's going to be a closed alpha test coming November 1st for the game, if you're interested in that kind of thing. So a little bit of info about it. Destiny Rising is going to be free to play, mobile sci-fi RPG shooter set within the Destiny universe that Bungie's been building for the last, 10 plus years. But this new mobile Destiny game isn't being developed or published by Bungie itself, being developed and published by NetEase Games, also known as Analese. The company that doesn't use Vaseline, they use sand when they give it to you. So sticking it to you with some sand. It's the Chinese megacorp behind Diablo Immortals, Once Human, and the upcoming Marvel Rivals game. So this is basically an officially licensed game by Bungie for them. So in 2018, NetEase invested over $100 million into Bungie to build a new game. The investment gave NetEase a minority stake in Bungie and a seat on its board of directors. But all that changed in 2022 when Sony bought Bungie for $3.7 billion, right? And 2 years later, after the Sony buyout, and 6 years after the NetEase investment, Destiny Rising has become a reality. So they're also saying that Destiny provided oversight. We all know how that goes, right? They're just going to say, hey, this look all right to you? And they didn't even read it. They're like, yeah, you gave me all this money. Just, make sure you stay within our universe and don't take any liberties, right? I don't know how close of attention Destiny or Bungie is paying to this mobile game. But it is what it is. So let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. So Destiny Rising is supposed to be both able to do first and third person options when playing the game. You'll be able to switch between them at will. Destiny Rising supports touchscreen controls and supports the Xbox and PlayStation controller as well as mobile specific controllers. So I imagine like the backbone and things like that it'll support. So it says, while Destiny Rising is set within the Destiny universe, its events take place in an alternate Destiny timeline. That's all you need to know, that it's going to take liberties with everything. It's an alternate timeline. They're going to wake up and it's all a dream. It explores a story in the post-Dark Age era, the era that took place right after the collapse of the Golden Age in Destiny. And here's their specific blurb is, as a genesis of new possibilities in the Destiny universe, Destiny Rising delves into an unseen era when burgeoning hopes blooms once again after a terrifying collapse of civilization and the dangers of the resulting Dark Age. With the help of legendary Iron Lords, humanity has broken free from the shackles of tyranny and began to rally together against the alien forces intent on its extinction. Amidst the chaos of this early age, for the city, a new generation of light bearers resurrected by mysterious entities known as ghosts sets out to restore humanity's prominence and secure its future. So the game has single player and co-op and PvP. NetEase Games says, including beloved game modes familiar to Destiny players, and there's going to be some new modes. There are campaign missions and 6-player co-op strikes that are iconic to the Destiny franchise. Perhaps we'll get something along the lines of Cerberus Ve 3 Strike from Destiny, whether we wanted it or not. As for characters, expect familiar faces from Destiny, as well as brand new characters. There is clan support, fun and casual party modes, and customizable shared spaces. More ways to monetize you. You want this poster in your shared space or in your home or whatever they're going to have? Give us $5. I don't know. If you're a mobile gamer, you're probably excited. If you're a console PC gamer, you're probably not so excited for this. But good news is it didn't take it. Bungie wasn't actually putting a hand into this, so they weren't taking development time away from anything halfway decent, which Destiny is fallen far from grace over the last few years. Their DLCs and expansions have just gotten more and more mediocre over the years, I would say. Nick and I both play, and we've played a few times with each expansion and each DLC, whatever you want to call it, and it seems like it holds our attention less and less. They've added more gimmicks every time we hop in, a little bit more gimmicky stuff. So it's another one of those games that just charges you full price for a game, typically, outside of their DLCs, which are a little bit cheaper, sometimes $40. But they also have a season pass and a regular item shop. So, triple dipping Destiny, right? I don't care about this. I won't. I don't know. I can't say that I won't because I'm not a mobile game player, but I did try out the Diablo, right? I did try it until I hit the paywall limit, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not paying for this. I will pay. I don't like mobile games for the sheer aspect that everybody is going. Mobile games to me are a lot like Fortnite. Everybody is chasing that high dollar revenue because you get a mobile phone. These are accessible, right? I mean, and what I mean by accessible is pretty much everybody has one of these, right? Everybody has one of these stinking phones, no matter whether, everybody from the lowest socioeconomic status people to the richest people have phones. Everybody has phones. So making games that are on there are accessible to everybody. And a lot of times I feel that monetization in video games is almost like it's not almost, they are a lot like gambling in the sense that you're trying for a chance of something. You're like, I want to spend this so I can level up this character faster to get to here, wherever, or whatever. You're paying you're paying to win. Even though they're like, no, it not really is, but it really is paying to win or paying to get whatever. And so to me, it kind of preys upon that type of person. I have no qualms about a free to play mobile game that has a cash shop. If that's what you want to do, cool. I mean, you got to support the developer to develop that somehow, right? They're not asking you to pay $20 for the game and then charge you $2 for this or $10 for a season pass. It's just that it feels like to me, and I'll let Nick answer the same question. We're getting a lot more games that are designed for mobile than we get. Like, it seems like the normal games that we used to get are tapering off, and we get a lot more mobile games than we used to get. To me, it's like, okay, because it's the most opportune way to make cash for these companies. They're like, hey, your mom has a cell phone, your grandma has a cell phone, your grandpa and your dad have a cell phone. Maybe they'll play these games when they're bored by sitting on the couch. And then maybe they'll be like, hey, I want to spend that $2 or that $1 to get this or that. And so their access to cash is a lot greater than the normal gaming community, right? Because you have a subset of PC players, you have a subset of console players that doesn't equal the number of phone owners by any means, right? I mean, if there are three, I don't even know what we're up to in the US on population, 330 million or whatever we're up to on population, 400 million. And that's accounting for everybody, men, women, children, babies. We probably have 600 million cell phones in this country. There's people out there that have 2 and 3 cell phones, right? So most people have a cell phone, and so that's access to cash, easy access to cash for them. It's so easy to say, buy that $2 pack, buy that $20 pack, buy that $5 pack. So game developers are chasing that and that model. And I think the last time we had heard, mobile market dwarfs the PC and console market by a long shot. So why wouldn't they, right? I just don't find, I like to play my PC and I like to play my consoles. I don't find playing a game on this to be very fun. To me, it's a time waster. I've got 5 minutes while I'm sitting waiting for an appointment, or 10 minutes waiting on this or whatever. I got a few minutes to kill while I'm waiting on something. I'll pick it up and be like, okay, cool. And then move on. But like when I sit down to play a game on my console or PC, I've got time. I've got like hour to kill or more or whatever, you know. Yeah. So for me, a gaming on a PC or a console is an experience. To me, this is a time fast forward device. I got time to kill, and I don't want to sit here and be like looking around, you know, just doing whatever. I'm like, I entertain myself for a few minutes, right? So that's how I feel. But I am not their demographic. You know, I very rarely have ever spent anything. And what I've ever spent on one of these is typically from like my Google rewards. I'm like, okay, I got $5 worth of rewards. I mean, I'll spend $1 on this game real quick to get this because I ran out of power and I've still got 10 minutes until I get called back to the doctor's office or something, you know? So I'm like, well, I don't want to sit here for 10 minutes going, what am I going to do? You know, and I'm not one of these people who I don't like walking around with earbuds in my ears. So I don't have earphones in. So I'm not going to sit in the lobby waiting for something with my volume up. You know, I'm not one of those inconsiderate douchebags, you know, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna pay that extra $1 so I can play for another 10 or 15 minutes. So Nick, how do you feel about Destiny Rising?
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you said, with the mobile market, mobile games are, and if anybody's watched us from the beginning, you may know that I'm not a fan of mobile games. I play a ton of games and a ton of different kinds of games, but mobile games, I very rarely play them. I did play Diablo Immortal. I will probably try this one because I will try them. But I just can't stick with a mobile game. I just can't. I lose interest in a mobile game very quickly. Even ones that aren't that bad, I still lose interest in them. I just don't feel like playing a game on my phone. It just doesn't like me sitting and waiting for the doctor or whatever. I'm usually just gonna look at Facebook or read Reddit or read an article online, and that's what I typically do. Right. I usually don't even have a game downloaded on there to play. I think I have one game downloaded on my phone that I very rarely play, but I do occasionally just when I feel like wasting some time and I'm going to pop it open and play it because I feel like it. But I very rarely play it. And so for being a gamer and having one game on your phone and that's it. Right. And I have spent $0 in that game. I just have one game and I collect all the free stuff in it. And then if I want to do any of the gotcha stuff, I just use that free crap that I have. But I mean, it makes sense and it sucks that it makes sense, but it makes sense because I mean, I looked at the 2024's top grossing games so far. Honor of Kings, which is a Tencent game or published by Tencent, has made $961 million this year, followed by Monopoly Go, that has made $704 million. Honkai Star Rail is in 8th place with $380 million. Genshin Impact is 320 at 11th place. I mean, like, I've never even heard of Honor of Kings, but apparently it's making a lot of money. Royal Match with my girlfriend plays. I don't know if she spent any money in it, but she does play it just about every night. That has raised $618 million. So it's the amount of money these mobile games create is insane. I don't know. I don't get it. That information though, just so you know, is based on revenue estimates based on the publisher's payout. It doesn't include Apple or Google's 30%. But still though, I mean, that's still, even if you were to ballpark it, right, and say, well, it's around that amount, that's still a lot of money. And Destiny Rising, much like Diablo Immortal, which we thought was going to die off, Diablo Immortal is making a crap ton of money for them. Like, it's not in this list of top revenue games, but I'm pretty sure Diablo Immortal is not, even still to this day, is not, is not any slouch. So in 12 months, so I'm assuming from the time it came out, within 12 months, so in a year from it coming out, Diablo Immortal brought Activision Blizzard brought in 525 million. I mean, and so who knows? So according to this other thing, in July of 2024, the app generated 5.76 million US dollars. Diablo Immortal did. So it's not hitting the numbers that, King of whatever the hell it's called, King of Kings or King of Slaps or Honor of Kings. It's not hitting the revenue that is, but it's still making a pretty penny off of a mobile game, right? And so I don't like it because you're exactly right. A lot of our favorite games are coming out with mobile versions of themselves, and it makes sense that they want to do that because it makes a lot of money. I don't understand why mobile. I mean, I understand it because, like you said, a lot of people, everyone has a phone, but I don't get how people can sit there and play like Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact or PUBG Mobile that made 615 million. How you could play these games on your phone and you're and spending so much money, you're basically playing them all day long, right? I mean, not all day long, but there's a considerate amount of your day where you're playing a mobile game. I don't know. Most mobile games aren't that fun. I just don't find them that fun. They're a big resource time waster. A lot of gotcha mechanics, a lot of like collecting resources. There's so many freaking menus in most of them, like pop-ups and stuff. Like, hey, you got this free thing, this free thing, this free thing. Look at that, look at this, and then you play the game, and it's like there's just so much in your face to it, and it's just like I don't want to. I don't know. I did the same thing with Diablo Immortal. I played up to the paywall, and I was like, okay. I mean, because it wasn't bad, and I'm not saying every mobile game is. It's just. I think Genshin Impacts and Honkai Star Rail, they're pretty fun. You could play those on PC as well. But it's the gotcha mechanics that really it's the gotcha mechanics of those games that drive me away from them, right? I'm like, hey, as far as an RPG goes, this isn't bad at all. But then the gotcha mechanics get thrown in my face. I'm like, I don't like this. This just throws me off your entire game. Like, I don't want to play it now because then I don't want to have to play this gambling slot machine every time. Like, you got your good game, but then I have to pull the slot handle every so often to make sure I get something good out of it. Otherwise, I either got to spend money or whatever the case may be. So I don't know.
I mean, when you compare it, I mean, let's just say, for what information is known about non-mobile games this year, most of the games that are top sellers aren't games that we play. And what I mean by that is the top so far, according to like Circana and a few of the Statica pages, the 3 of the top 5 selling games of 2024 so far, 3 of them are sports games. Madden, EA Sports College Football, and EA Sports MVP bundles. And out of that, the only 2 other ones that make more money, or not make more money, but are in there, because the 2 top ones are Madden and EA Sports College Football. Number 3 is supposedly Star Wars Outlaws. And then number 5 is Elden Ring. So, and that was that's what August's top selling games, and so, and year to date, supposedly is EA Sports College, and then, EA Sports MVP private bundle out of all year. So, and then the other 3 were like Helldivers 2, and then for whatever reason, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 exploded this year, even though it came out in 2023. And then Elden Ring obviously is in the top 5, followed by Dragon's Dogma 2, MLB, WWE 2K24, Final Fantasy Rebirth, and Hogwarts Legacy. So that did pretty good this year. And while they may make a lot of money, the monetization strategy of them is probably can't net them the amount of money. The development cost versus the ease of recouping that is not as easy as a mobile game, right? Because instead of you having a couple of 2 to 10 million possible audience, you have hundreds. We're talking like US. We'll just say US, limiting US market. Just to make the numbers smaller, because we have billions of people in the world. But in the US, it's easier to kind of market that down to like 2 million people that'll play these games on a console or PC versus like 100 million people that may be exposed to this game and play games. Because like Nick said, his significant other, not a video game player, but plays a game on her phone, right? And the same thing for like my girlfriend. She's not a video gamer, but she's got games on her phone. My mom, I'll be over visiting my mom and she'll be playing a game on her phone, and I'm like, and I'm sure my dad does too, so it's access to the non-gamers that makes them the money, right? Because when you play a game, and Nick is exactly right. As soon as I hit that monetization paywall, it irks me off to no end, right? Because it's like, hey, I like that character and I want it, but if I play the game, I get a chance of getting 1 out of 50 tokens to get that character every hour, or maybe even every other day or something. I can get 10 of them a day, and it takes 50, and it's going to take me a week. And I'm like, oh, at the end of the week, I feel like I've just done the same thing every day and day. I pulled the slot machine, I put the quarter in, and I'm like, I didn't get it, and they just string you along. And so I feel like I've hit that paywall boundary, and I'm like, it makes me kind of sick to my stomach. But I also attribute the people that don't have that same sensation. They're like, ooh, I could get that character if I just give them $1. I didn't get it, but I can give them another $1, and it's only $2, and that's how they look at it. It's only $2, but they've done that every day for a week, and they've given them $14. And then the next thing they've done it for a month, and they've given them $60, and it just keeps on going. And next thing you spend a couple of $100 on a mobile game without even realizing it. People do it all the time, and it's just, and I attribute that to like a little bit more of a one of two factors, right? You're either a kid who has no concept of money, right? Your parents give you the money, you have no concept of money, or you might have a little bit of a gambling or an addictive personality, right? Because I'll use a perfect example. I think that Nick and I, and even Shane, are on the same page a little bit, because we've gone to the casino together because our significant others will gamble. Guess where you find us? At the bar, just drinking, waiting on them to finish up, right? Because it's like, I don't want to spend. I don't find enjoyment or pleasure of throwing $1, 50 cents, a quarter, or a nickel or a penny into a slot machine or any type of gambling machine and going, I could win. To me, it's just like, there's an hour. I had to work an hour to spend that. And that's how my brain thinks when I'm gambling. But it doesn't think that way. When I buy a video game, I don't think, oh my God, I had to work 2 hours or 4 hours to afford that $70 video game. My brain doesn't think like that. When I go to a casino, that's what I think. I be like, I just put $100 in there. I had to work 2 days of my life, or whatever you have to work to do that. That's how my brain goes. It's like, oh my God, I just worked a whole day. I just spent a whole day working to lose that money. Right. And that's what I think about when I'm mobile gaming too. I'm like, that $2 may not seem like a lot, but it adds up if you do it every day or every couple of days, or, you may be enticed to do that $5, that $10 package one time. And you're like, next thing you know, you done blew $100. So to me, I hate to use terms that the kids use these days, but it gives me the ick, the irk, it gives me the ick when I think about it. Literally makes me go, ugh, I know. Because it's time of my life. It's time that I had to spend working to do that. But I don't think about that in other aspects of my life, right? Like when I go to buy a video game, I don't think of it that way. But gambling does make me think of that way, because usually you can lose $100 gambling in like 5 minutes or 2 minutes if you're really just like throwing money away, right? And I'm like, oh my God, it took me 8 hours to make it and 5 minutes to blow it. All right. And then that's it. I got no more entertainment out of it, right? I'm done. If I brought $100 and I lost it in 5 or 10 minutes, I'm done. But if I take $100 and I buy a video game with it, then I'll force myself to play it or whatever, but a mobile game is like Nick said, you put that $2 in for that gotcha and you pull that ching ching and you didn't get it. You're like, I got to keep feeding the beast. So, and I think it probably has to do with personality or, like I said, age. If you're a child that doesn't have any concept of money yet, you're just like, Mom, Dad, can I have $5 to get whatever? Because it's the same thing with like Robux and all this other stuff, Can I have $5? Can I get $10? Can I buy the skin? Can I buy that? I don't buy skins and stuff typically. So yeah, to me, that's what it is. So it's probably that type of personality, and maybe more people have that type of personality than don't.
I mean, it seems to. I mean, because you think of outside of mobile games, you think of games like Diablo or something like that, right? And those skins for the characters are cool, but they're expensive. But they keep making them, so clearly they're probably selling a pretty good penny out of them, right? They're probably selling a pretty good amount out of that item shop on Diablo 4. I mean, because each like one is like $15 to $20 equivalent, something like that, of real world cash to buy those, depending, right? They all kind of vary in price, but the really nice ones are around that price. And it's like, I wouldn't think it would last long. You wouldn't think so, but I bet you that, that's a full price game. I bet you they're making some pretty decent money off of that cash shop.
So I guess about last month in September, I was reading over this article while we were chatting. They accidentally told everybody how much that the item shop made them when they mentioned this back in September. So just mind you, Diablo released in June of 2023. Diablo 4 did June of 2023. It has made $1 billion billion with a B in revenue to date, including a little over $150 million in microtransactions from the game store alone. The game store alone is getting them $150 million. So, and this was leaked by their senior product manager, Harrison Froschke. So he was boasting about, and apparently was not supposed to post this information, but I guess he put it on his LinkedIn profile on accident. So $150 million in the microtransaction shop. So obviously that's a little, 15% of $1 billion. So, 15% of their total revenue was microtransactions. So
skins,
they're likely to maybe sell more games.
Skins and Battle Pass, right?
But you can only buy, it's all the items purchased through the storefront. And the only things you can't buy you can't go in the store and buy the season pass or anything, right? So that
you buy the coins, right?
Right. Because you buy the season pass with the coins. So you buy in things like skins, pets.
I guess you buy everything with the coins, right? So
So $150 million out of a $1 billion revenue came from microtransactions. That's insane to me. So, I mean, easy money, right? Well, there's probably a lot of smaller games out there that will kill just to have $150 million revenue in their game, right?
And I wonder if that was only based off of when it was on battle.net, right? Because now it's on Steam as well. Because it wasn't initially on Steam. So now that it's on Steam, it's probably, you have the players that, because there's always people out there that aren't going to play a game through the battle.net launcher, right? Even if they wanted to play Diablo. And then Xbox and PlayStation, players from there as well playing or buying stuff for the item shop. It's not just PC. So that's insane, right? And that's what doesn't stop them from selling cheaper skins in the item shop. They don't need to because people are buying them, right? People are going out there and purchasing them. And that's the same thing with these to bring us back to the subject, that's the same thing with these phone games, right? Diablo Rising, Destiny Rising will probably do really good for NetEase. It'll probably do really good. It'll probably make a crap ton of money. Just like Diablo Immortal did, and just like all these mobile games do. Like, not all of them. I mean, some of them do die off, but it just depends on, Square Enix, they don't have a really good track record with mobile games, but other NetEase seems to, right, for the most case. So as far as the track record of
they know how to bleed it out of you,
how to squeeze the blood out of the orange, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you though. It's yeah. So I found that. So I guess I found the item. So I guess this GamePressure.com screenshotted this senior product manager for Diablo's LinkedIn, where he actually he listed one of the bullets as leading the monetization strategy of the store cosmetics pricing bundle offers, personalized discounts, and roadmap planning, which have driven over 150 million microtransaction lifetime revenues for Diablo. Youch. So, which he probably was, which they said he wasn't at liberty to disclose because shortly after his profile went invisible on LinkedIn.
And so did he.
Yeah. That $150 million is coming out of his ass, as we're going at him now. You thought the mouse was hard on people from Disney.
Just wait for the Diablo, wait for the demon.
But what's funny though to think about is, so $1 billion in revenue from June of 2023 to September of this year, 2024. Just to put it into perspective for you, Diablo 4 made in 5 days $666 million. So their revenue has only increased like $500,000 since 5 days after that game, with 150 million of it coming from the microtransaction store. So if you think about it as after game sales, like after the initial, people pre-ordering and stuff like that, it's coming close to being, a third of the revenue. So, and it's going to be ongoing. So as more people play, obviously their development costs will taper off because they've already developed the game, but they'll be developing like seasonal challenges. But their seasonal challenges and seasonal crap isn't like major game changing things. They rotate in and out. I guarantee they probably have a 12 season map somewhere, and they're like, we'll rotate in this feature, and then by season 7 or 8 they'll have forgotten about this little function and we'll rotate it back in. They probably recycle the hell out of shit. We know they do, right? So and then if it continues to make them $150 million plus a year, they're just going to keep pulling the arm on that cash cow, right?
Yeah. So as long as it keeps working. And if they're going to rotate things, don't bring back the bot. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. But that
wasn't a very fun season.
Right. Exactly.
Because they have two teams that rotate seasons.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I think, you all know how we feel about mobile games, and I feel like I'm sad for the Destiny franchise to hit mobile, but will I try it out? Maybe. Will I give them money? Highly unlikely. I didn't for Diablo, but
I'll probably try it out, but I most likely will not buy anything.
Yeah, me neither. Because I don't buy anything out of the item shop for Diablo 4.
I don't either.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at things, I did play the first season, and I am playing the current season. So, bought the expansion with the season. So, season pass. So,
I've played more seasons, so I guess I have bought in those because I have bought in the premium pass a few times. I'm part of the problem, I guess. Yeah. So I haven't bought skins, but the premium pass I have.
Yeah, I don't buy any
if I like the season or not. Like if I enjoy the season, then I we'll max the character out and max out the season pass. But I mean, me and you both bought the stupid expensive version of the expansion, so
because we came with the season pass, and
we're still part of the problem. So don't think don't think there's halos above our head. We're part of the problem as well.
Yeah, we just don't typically buy into the item shop,
right?
Skins and mounts and crap. Like I'm not buying a $20 skin. I'm not buying a $10 skin. Hell, I wouldn't even buy a $5 skin.
We would have coins from the.
And I still haven't spent them. They're sitting out there because I'm like, either. I wonder if I can get enough to buy the next season with them. Right? That's the way my brain goes. I'm like, can I stretch those coins to buy the next season? Can I get enough coins to get the next season?
What they'll do eventually is they'll have expiration, right?
Yeah. They're good for
Good for
they'll
6
start
months.
out. They'll start out generous, right? They'll be like 18 months, and the next thing you know, they're 13 months, and then 12, and then 6 months.
6 months.
Know?
They're good for 6 months.
Yeah, and then they may stop there. They may go, these are 90-day tokens.
90-day tokens.
They'll sell you 90-day tokens at a discount.
At a 10%, discount, exactly. 10% discount. If you want the longer duration, you got to pay more.
Right. Or what they'll do is they'll be like, hey, it's 1,000 coins for $10. And we'll give you a 10% bonus in coins. So you get an extra 100 coins, but those 100 coins only last for a week.
Right.
Or something stupid. So, all right. It is what it is. But, just think about it when you're playing a mobile game, that if you're spending all this money, is it worth it to you? If you're spending $2 a day or $1 a day or $20 a week or whatever, or a month, is it really worth it? If you're playing every day and you spend $20 a month, then it might be worth it to you, right? Just, you got to watch out. I know plenty of people who have spent hundreds of dollars a month before they realize, and they look at their statement, they're like, where'd all this money go? And you look and they're like, yeah, you spent $200 on this game because you bought a $5 pack here, $10 pack there, $20 pack there, and spent $1 every day thinking the 99-cent thing's a good deal every day. And then that's $30.
That's the biggest thing, right? I don't care if people play mobile games or whatever. Mobile games are here to stay, and they will. They're not going to go anywhere, as much as I would love mobile games to disappear. But that's a dream that's never going to happen. So for those individuals who do play mobile games and spend money, Patrick's right. Like, just watch what you're doing on there. Those little bitty amounts that you spend every once in a while, they do add up. The small amounts add up. So just watch yourself. Be safe out there on a game, especially if you play a mobile game that you enjoy, right? And it's fine if you decide you're going to buy something for it. You do whatever you want to do, but just be cognizant of the amount of money you're spending.
Spend wisely, my friend.
Right.
Drink in moderation and spend wisely. Spend in moderation.
Don't put yourself in deep debt over a mobile game.
And don't be spending credit card dollars on a mobile game. That's just stupid.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. So, I think we beat this horse enough. As much as we hate mobile games and we spent way too much time talking about it, if you've reached the end of this episode, you have listened to us rant for almost 40 minutes about mobile games and talking shit, talking smack, even though we both play them, and things like that. But, we're really not in their bread and butter group of people. Spend wisely while playing them. Don't put your credit card in there when you're just spend money, and just enjoy yourself. But you've reached the end. And if you've reached the end of this episode listening to us do nothing but rant about mobile games and you're not subscribed, how come? Just subscribe. Help us out so we can rant about other topics. We try not to go 40 minutes, we try to do little 15-minute topics or 20 minutes at max, but sometimes we go 30, 40 minutes, unfortunately. But, we try to keep it as informational and entertaining as possible, but, sometimes it is what it is. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell to get notified when we put out new videos. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope to catch you in the next one.